On the 4th March 2018, Sergei Skripal and his daughter Yulia were found ill on the bench in Salisbury. Among much scandal, it was revealed that they had been victim to attempt assassination using chemical weapon Novichok.
Chemical weapons have been used and developed throughout human history. For example, poison arrows containing natural toxins from plants and animals have been used by humans since before recorded history and are still used by some indigenous tribes today. They were also notably used by the Greeks and Romans during warfare. The first large-scale use of chemical weapons was in World War I at Lepe, Belgium on the 22nd of April 1915 with the use of chlorine gas, which caused many deaths by suffocation. Mustard gas was another chemical weapon used in World War I, which was a blistering agent that caused the majority of injuries sustained during the war, but only caused a few deaths. In 1925, after the war ended, the Geneva Protocol banned the use of biological and chemical weapons in war. However, they were still allowed to be manufactured.
Then, in 1972, a new measure called the Biological Weapons Convention was introduced with aims to prevent countries from developing and stockpiling new biological weapons, as well as to destroy old ones. However, negotiations on chemical weapons took much longer. Taking advantage of this, a Russian scientist, Pyotr Petrovich Gorbachev, first produced the nerve agent Novichok in 1973 as a response to new, more sophisticated American chemical weapons. It was produced under the code name Folian and was claimed to be a new pesticide. The West weren't made aware of Novichok until the 1990s when Dr. Vil Mrzaniov, one of the lead scientists on the project, defected to the US and published information about Novichok in his book, State Secrets.
The specific chemical formula of Novichok is unknown. However, we do know how it enters and affects the body. Novichok is a binary weapon which is made up of two non-toxic components that when mixed becomes deadly. It is dispersed as an ultra-fine powder which enters the body through inhalation, ingestion or skin contact. It is meant to be undetectable by any standard detection equipment.
Novichok works by affecting the nervous system and the muscles it's connected to. Normally in the nervous system, information is passed through the body along neurons and across gaps called synapses, which is illustrated here. At synapse, chemicals called neurotransmitters, which are these orange triangles here, are released from vesicles in one neuron and then travel across a synaptic gap to receptors on the next neuron. When the neurotransmitter binds to these receptors, it passes a signal onto the next neuron. Once the signal has been passed, enzymes such as acetylcholine esterase need to break down the neurotransmitter in order to stop the signal from being permanently transmitted. Novichok works by targeting this enzyme, acetylcholine esterase.
Enzymes have a specific shape complementary to their target molecule, essential for it to work, much like how a key fits a lock. Novichok contains a chemical group called a phosphate group, which it transfers to the enzyme. This causes the enzyme to change its specific shape so it can no longer bind to its target molecule, the neurotransmitter, and therefore the neurotransmitter cannot be broken down. The signals are then transmitted continuously between the neurons and to the muscles.
This overstimulation results in permanent contraction of the muscles, leading to paralysis, increased heart rate, nausea, excessive mucus, breathing problems, tightening of the chest, spasms, and loss of bowel control. Eventually, these symptoms can lead to comas and deaths. These effects are almost immediate as they can be seen within 2 minutes from exposure.
Recent events in Salisbury, through the use of Novichok, have brought chemical weapons to the forefront of the public eye. Russian agents have been suspected of poisoning ex-spy Sergei Skripal and his daughter Yulia by spraying his front door with Novichok from a modified perfume bottle. The Novichok was later thought to have poisoned a further 2 people, killing 1. Porton Down, an institute in close proximity to Salisbury that researches chemical weapons and produces countermeasures and safeguards against them, confirmed the use of Novichok in this incident. However, being so close to Salisbury, Russian officials claim that the Novichok could have originated from Porton Down and deny any government involvement in the incident.
This incident highlights that despite bans, chemical weapons are still a threat today. There are certain ways to manage the exposure to Novichok. For example, removal of clothing, washing of skin with soap and water, rinsing eyes for 5 to 10 minutes, and receiving supplementary oxygen. Also, certain antidotes are available.
Although the risk to the public is low, Novichok is a deadly poison due to its fast-acting nature and the fact that it targets a vital enzyme that our bodies can't function without.